The family dinner happened on the third Sunday of every month, a tradition Mom had started 2 decades ago, back when we were all still living in the same city and life felt simpler. This month, my older sister Amanda was hosting at her beautiful colonial house in the suburbs. 4 bedrooms, a perfectly trimmed lawn, a driveway big enough for everyone's cars, and a front porch with white columns that looked like something out of a magazine. It was the kind of place that made people slow down when they drove by just to admire it. Amanda loved that. She loved these dinners, loved showing off her home, loved reminding everyone that she'd made it. 15 family members crowded around her long dining room table, passing bowls of mashed potatoes, roasted chicken, and Amanda's famous green bean casserole. The air was filled with the clatter of silverware and the hum of overlapping conversations. Amanda played the perfect hostess, refilling wine glasses, making sure everyone had enough to eat, and dropping little comments about her latest home improvement project. She was in her element, and she wanted everyone to know it. I sat quietly between my younger cousin Rachel and Uncle Tom, eating and listening as the conversations flowed around me. Amanda stood at the head of the table, her voice carrying easily over the noise. "I'm so grateful we can all gather here in my home," she said, gesturing around the room. "The house I work so hard to buy and maintain. It's truly a blessing to have the space to host family." Mom smiled warmly. "You've done so well for yourself, sweetheart." "We're all proud," Amanda beamed, soaking in the praise. "Thank you. Though I have to say, it hasn't been easy. Mortgage payments, property taxes, maintenance costs. Home ownership is a huge responsibility. But I handle it because I'm disciplined and responsible." I took a sip of water, saying nothing. Amanda glanced at me, her eyes sharp. "Unlike some people," she continued, her voice just a little louder, "who still rent apartments at 32 years old. No equity, no investment, just throwing money away every month." Dad cleared his throat in a warning tone. "Amanda, what?" "I'm just being honest," Amanda said, not missing a beat. "Sarah's been renting that same apartment for 8 years. 8 years of payments that built nothing. Meanwhile, I've been building equity, growing an asset, investing in my future." My younger brother Marcus shifted uncomfortably in his seat. "Different people have different priorities," he offered. "Sure, but at some point, priorities need to align with reality," Amanda replied, her voice crisp. "Sarah makes decent money with that tech consulting thing. She could buy a place. She just chooses not to. Chooses to waste money on rent instead of building wealth." I set down my fork carefully. "I'm comfortable where I am." Amanda shook her head. "Comfortable isn't the same as smart. You're 32. You should own property by now. Have something tangible to show for all those years of work." Mom tried to intervene. "Amanda, that's enough." But Amanda was just getting started, playing to the audience. "I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to help Sarah's family. I want her to succeed, which is actually something I've been meaning to discuss." The table quieted. Something in her tone made everyone pause. "Sarah's lease is up next month, right?" Amanda asked, though she already knew the answer. "Yes," I said carefully. "And rent in the city has gotten insane. What are you paying now? $2,800 a month for that tiny 1-bedroom? Something like that. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous." Amanda set down her wine glass. "Which is why I've been thinking, Sarah, you should move in here with me." The suggestion hung in the air. "Move in here?" I repeated. "Yes, I have a spare bedroom upstairs that never gets used. You could live here, save money, and finally start building up a down payment for your own place." "It's perfect," Mom looked delighted. "What a generous offer." "There would be rent, of course," Amanda added quickly. "I'm not running a charity. $5,000 a month, which is still way better than what you're paying now for that shoebox apartment. Plus, you'd be living in an actual house in a nice neighborhood." Everyone watched as she waved the fake mortgage papers she pulled from a folder beside her plate. "I've even drawn up a simple rental agreement," Amanda continued, holding up the papers. "Standard terms, first and last month up front, plus a security deposit of another $5,000. It's all very official and proper." She slid the papers across the table toward me. "I didn't touch them. That's very generous," I said slowly. "But I'm happy where I am." "Happy throwing away $2,800 a month?" Amanda pressed. "Sarah, you're not thinking clearly. This is an opportunity. You'd be paying me $5,000? Yes, but you'd be living in a real house, building a relationship with home ownership, even if it's not your own home yet. I don't need to build a relationship with home ownership, I said quietly. Clearly. You do since you don't own anything, Amanda snapped. Look, I'm trying to help you, but if you're going to be stubborn about it, fine. Stay in your apartment. Keep wasting money, but don't come crying to me in 10 years when you're still renting and have nothing to show for it. Uncle Tom cleared his throat. Maybe Sarah has reasons for her choices. What reasons? Amanda interrupted. What possible reason is there to keep renting when you could be building towards something? Unless, she paused dramatically, unless she actually can't afford to buy. Is that it, Sarah? Are you struggling financially? Is the consulting work not paying as well as you let everyone believe? The table had gone completely silent. I could feel everyone's eyes on me, waiting for my answer. I'm not struggling, I said quietly. Then prove it. Take the room. Pay the rent. Show everyone you can handle real adult responsibilities like property agreements and monthly obligations. Something in her tone, the condescension, the performative concern masking obvious manipulation, made my decision for me. I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, and scrolled to the mortgage payments. I turned the screen so Amanda could see $7,400 monthly payments for 10 years. I don't need to rent a room from you, Amanda, I said calmly, because I've been paying your mortgage for the last 10 years. The silence that fell was absolute. What? Amanda said, her smile freezing. Your mortgage on this house. I've been paying it since you bought the place in 2014. I turned my phone so the family could see the screen. Automatic payment. $7,400 every month, on 20 months. That's $888,000 in total payments. Amanda's face went pale. That's not... You're lying. Bank of America mortgage account number ending in 4739. Property address 847. Willow Creek Drive. That's this house. I scrolled through the statements. I have documentation going back 10 years. Every single payment, every confirmation number. Dad leaned forward, his brow furrowed. Sarah, what are you talking about? Amanda came to me in 2014, right after she got approved for this mortgage. She was panicking because she'd gotten approved for more house than she could actually afford. The mortgage was $7,400 monthly, but her salary only covered about $3,000 of it. She begged me to help her, just temporarily, until she got a raise or found a roommate or something. I pulled up more records. I agreed. I set up automatic payments from my account to cover the full mortgage. She was supposed to pay me back the difference between what she could afford and the actual payment. She never did. This is ridiculous, Amanda said, but her voice lacked conviction. Why would you pay my mortgage? Because you're my sister, and you were desperate and I wanted to help you. I met her eyes. You told me you'd lose the house if you couldn't make payments. You said it was temporary. You promised you'd take over within a year once your career stabilized. Marcus was staring at Amanda. Is this true? Amanda's jaw tightened. I don't know what she's talking about. I pay my own mortgage. I've always paid my own mortgage. Really? I pulled up another document. Then explain why the bank sends all payment confirmations to my email address. Why I have the mortgage account login credentials. Why I've been the one calling about payment issues and interest rate changes for 10 years. I turned the phone toward her. Here's the email from last month when you were late submitting homeowners insurance documentation. The bank contacted me because I'm listed as the financial contact on the account. Uncle Tom looked stunned. You've been paying $7,400 a month for 10 years for this house? Yes, not counting the times Amanda asked for loans for property taxes, which added another $4,000 annually on average. Total spent on this property, approximately $892,000, over 10 years. The numbers seemed to echo in the silence. Why? Mom asked, her voice barely a whisper. Why would you do that? Because Amanda was my sister and she was terrified of losing this house and I had the means to help. I was making good money consulting. I lived modestly, and I thought I was doing the right thing. You were, Mom started, but I shook my head. I was enabling her. For 10 years, Amanda has been living in a house she can't afford, presenting herself as financially successful, lecturing me about my choices, all while I've been paying for everything. Amanda stood abruptly. You're making this up. This is some kind of sick joke because you're jealous of my success. I'm not jealous, I said. I'm tired of paying your bills while you judge my life, Tired of watching you use this house as proof of your success when the only reason you still have it is because I've been covering payments you can't make. I can make my payments. Then you won't mind me stopping. I opened my banking app's bill pay section and found the automatic payment to Bank of America for the account ending in 4739. I'm canceling the automatic payment right now. Wait, Amanda said, payment canceled. I showed her the confirmation screen. Effective immediately. The next mortgage payment is due in 12 days. You'll need to make it yourself. Amanda grabbed for my phone. You can't do that. You can't just stop. I absolutely can. It's my money, my bank account. My choice to stop giving you nearly $8,000 a month. But I don't have... She stopped realizing what she was admitting. You don't have the money, I finished. I know. You've never had the money. You get approved for a mortgage based on projected income that never materialized. You've been living beyond your means for 10 years and have been subsidizing it. Dad had pulled out his phone, checking something. His face went ashen. Amanda, your mortgage payment is really $7,400 a month. The house is worth it, Amanda said desperately. It's an investment. Property values have increased. I have equity now. Equity that Sarah paid for, Marcus said quietly. It's not like that. Amanda turned to me. Sarah, you can't just stop paying. Where am I supposed to get $7,400 in 12 days? The same place you've been telling everyone you get it for the last 10 years. Your job, your successful career, your responsible financial management. I don't make enough togen. She caught herself. You don't make enough to afford this house. I said you never did, which is fine. Lots of people can't afford houses like this, but most people don't spend a decade lecturing their younger sister about financial responsibility while secretly taking $900,000 from her. The foreclosure notice arrived before she finished her threats. My phone buzzed, an email notification from Bank of America. I opened it and my face must have shown something because Amanda went even paler. What? She demanded. Automated notice from the bank, I said. Apparently you missed 2 payments before this one. I've been covering them, but the bank flagged the account for potential default risk. With my payment cancellation, they've accelerated the review process. I read from the email. Due to payment irregularities and recent cancellation of the automatic payment method, account 4739 has been referred to the foreclosure prevention team. Borrower must contact the bank within 5 business days to establish a payment plan or face foreclosure proceedings. The words seemed to suck all the air from the room. Foreclosure, Mom said weakly. It's standard procedure when payments become irregular, I explained. Amanda's been late before. I've always covered it. But now that I've canceled the automatic payment, and the bank sees no alternative payment method on file, they're protecting their interest. Amanda sank back into her chair. You're going to let them take my house. I'm going to stop paying for your house. I corrected. Whether the bank takes it depends on whether you can make the payments yourself. You know I can't. Then you'll need to sell it, refinance it, or work out a payment plan with the bank. Those are the options for people who can't afford their mortgages. But this is my house. Amanda's voice rose to near hysterical. I've lived here for 10 years. I've built a life here. On my money, I said firmly. On $892,000 that you never acknowledged, never thanked me for, never even admitted you needed. Instead, you spent tonight trying to charge me $5,000 rent to live in the house I've been paying for. Uncle Tom rubbed his face. This is insane, Amanda. Why didn't you tell anyone you were struggling? I wasn't struggling. I had it handled. You had Sarah handling it, Marcus corrected sharply. That's different. Amanda turned back to me desperate now. Sarah, please. You can't do this. I'll pay you back. I'll figure something out. Just keep making the payments for a few more months while I sort things out. You've had 10 years to sort things out. I'm your sister, which is why I helped you for 10 years. But being sisters doesn't mean I have to bankrupt myself funding your lifestyle forever. Bankrupt? Amanda laughed bitterly. You're not bankrupt. You clearly have plenty of money if you've been able to pay my mortgage all this time. I've been living in that shoebox apartment you mocked, because I couldn't afford to buy my own place while paying for yours. I've been driving a 10-year-old car because I prioritized your mortgage over my own needs. I've been declining vacations and postponing my own life to make sure you kept this house. The weight of that settled over everyone at the table. You sacrificed your own life for hers, Dad said quietly, looking at me with something like horror. Why didn't you tell us? Because Amanda asked me not to. She said it would be humiliating if the family knew she was struggling. So I kept quiet, kept paying, kept hoping she'd eventually be honest about the situation. And instead she tried to charge you rent, Marcus said, shaking his head in disgust. Amanda was crying now, mascara running down her face. What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? You have options, I said not unkindly. You can sell the house. It's worth about $1.4 million. Now, after paying off the remaining mortgage, about $620,000, you'd walk away with roughly $780,000. That's enough to buy a smaller place you can actually afford or rent for years while you rebuild. But I love this house. Then figure out how to pay for it yourself. Get a roommate. Get a second job. Cut expenses. Do what everyone else does when they can't afford their mortgage. I can't believe you're doing this to me, Amanda whispered through her tears. I can't believe you spent 10 years taking almost $1 million from me while criticizing my choices and calling me irresponsible, I replied evenly. We're done here. The dinner was effectively over. People started gathering their things, making awkward excuses about early mornings and prior commitments. The atmosphere had shifted from family celebration to crime scene. As I was leaving, Amanda grabbed my arm in last time. Please, just one more month. Give me 1 month to figure something out. I looked at her hand on my arm, then met her desperate, mascara-streaked eyes. No, I've given you 20 months. That's 10 years of my life. Amanda, I'm done. I gently removed her hand and walked out. I drove home to my apartment, the one Amanda had mocked just hours earlier as a shoebox, as evidence of my failure. It was small, simple, affordable, and it was mine without lies, hidden payments, or fake success propping it up. My phone buzzed with messages almost immediately. Marcus, I can't believe she did that to you for 10 years. Dad, we need to talk about this tomorrow. This is serious. Mom, I'm so sorry, honey. We should have known something was wrong. Nothing from Amanda. 2 weeks later, I heard through Marcus that Amanda had listed the house for sale. She moved in with a friend, temporarily trying to figure out her next steps. The for sale sign went up on a Tuesday. A month after that, Mom called. Amanda wants to talk to you to apologize. Is she ready to actually apologize, or does she want something else? There was a long pause. I don't know, honey. I honestly don't know. Then I'm not ready to talk. The house sold 3 months later for $138 million after the mortgage payoff, closing costs, and realtor fees. Amanda walked away with approximately $730,000, enough to start over, honestly, if she chose to. Whether she would or not wasn't my problem anymore. I kept living in my apartment, started saving again without the $7,400 monthly drain bleeding me dry. I even started looking at houses I might actually want to buy for myself. Places I could afford on my own terms with my own money. 6 months after the dinner, Amanda sent a text. I'm sorry. I know that doesn't fix anything, but I'm sorry. I stared at it for a long time before responding. Thank you. I hope you're building something real now. Sheneva replied. Sometimes family means helping someone when they're down. Sometimes it means stopping when they're drowning you. Knowing the difference is what saves you.